Hello, my crafting friends, it's Ashley, and today I got some huge news because xTool just launched their brand new UV printer. We have been waiting 6 months for this launch, and I cannot wait to go over what I have in store for you. The coolest thing about today's video is that because I am an xTool partner, I get a lot of insider details that I am going to share with you, but not just that. We all know that I have had the EufyMake E1 UV printer for well over a year. So for today, not only are we going to talk about what the xTool Omni One laser has in store, but we are also going to, who's we? Me. I am going to show you direct comparisons of what the xTool Omni One laser has and what the EufyMake UV printer has. So I'm going to do a direct comparison between the two. Now, a little side note. Okay, unfortunately, at the time of this recording of the video, I do not have the xTool Omni One UV printer in my craft room. I have been told that I will be getting it around the beginning of July to the middle of July. So I'm sure we'll get more hands-on comparisons here in the future. But this is just what everything looks like on paper, what xTool has told me their Omni printer can do, and what I know about the EufyMake UV printer. So let's dive in to what the Omni One has in store for us. Okay, so let's talk about pre-orders. xTool has done this time and time again with a lot of their machines. What they like to do is just try to get a feel as to how many machines that they actually have to make. And what they end up doing is doing like an early bird pricing. There's always an additional bonus that you get when you do the early bird pricing. The pre-orders are live now. The deposit is $50. Then it fully launches in July 15th. At July 15th, then you're not getting the machine for $50, but at July, you'll get an additional bonus bundle if you commit now your $50. So they're saying that their bonus for this is going to be $459. So you can pay today the $50 July 15th. When it fully launches, you pay the remainder of what you owe and you get the bonus of a $459 value. Okay, so what is this machine, right? xTool is calling this the first true all-in-one printer. One printer for all the materials. That's what they're claiming. Okay, the cool thing about this is it does have a dual print head setup. You will have to buy both print heads, but the great part is you're not going to have to buy separate machines. So if you get the dual print head setup, what you're going to be able to do is acrylic, wood, glass, metal, but not just that. You get the other print head and you'll be able to do direct to garment and DTF apparel and then also UV stickers, okay? The whole idea that they have here is instead of buying multiple separate machines, all you do is you buy one machine with two print heads. So you're going to need two print heads to do it all, but at least you don't have to have a whole bunch of machines, okay? So I will get more into that when we compare the UV, but I just wanted to get you the down and dirty details of what the xTool Omni One has to offer. Now, why does this all matter? If you sell on Etsy or if you run a little craft business, every new material that you're able to create is a new product line, which is more money in your pocket. Now, at the EufyMake UV printer, you have seen me throughout the year and a half that I've owned my printer do a lot of stuff, right? We have done a lot of hard goods. We've done glass, we've done metal, we've done wood, we've done a whole bunch of stuff, right? But you've never seen me make a t-shirt, a hoodie, or anything like that. And that's because that's where the limitation is with that machine. Now with the Omni One, we are reaching further than the EufyMake UV printer. We are now going to be able to do a lot more surfaces. So when you do more surfaces and materials, you are going to have more things to sell and make more money. And then also you don't have to increase your footprint. Like you don't have to have another machine to do something else, okay? Now that I've talked your ear off about what the Omni One has to offer, let's do some side-by-side comparisons about the EufyMake and also the Omni One, because this, my friends, is important, right? I have broken this down into 6 quick rounds. What they print on, how big the actual machine is, the clogging and maintenance situation, the ink costs, the alignments, and accessories. We got a lot to cover, okay? But I'm not gonna have you here forever. All right. So let's get this going. All right. So the first round is, what do they print? Both machines print very similarly. Okay. My EufyMake UV printer prints on a lot of hard goods: wood, metal, glass, acrylic, plastic, you name it. Okay. They do have a rotary to do cups and tumblers, and you also have the ability to create stickers. You have seen it all, my friends. I have done it all over here on my channel. Okay. It technically can do fabric. However, you need the flexible white ink in order to do that. And no, you cannot print directly onto a t-shirt or something like that. The flexible ink is really just to print on like leather or like journals and things like that. It's not a garment type of apparel printer, okay? The Omni One has a dedicated fabric print head. So unlike the EufyMake UV printer, where they don't have that, okay, the Omni One has a dedicated print head for fabric. So it does true direct to garment on cotton, but it also has these film transfers that you can use for polyester and blends. So the gap between these two machines is that the Omni One now can do direct to garment, which a lot of people call DTG. I'm sure you've heard that term, DTG. The EufyMake UV printer cannot do that, whereas the Omni One can. Then also you can print your own transfers to sell them if you will, okay? So this is kind of taking away the xTool apparel printer, because the apparel printer is technically a DTF printer, right? But this right here will do those prints for you. So if you don't have the DTF printer, or you don't have the apparel printer, you've been wanting the apparel printer, maybe you should get this printer because it does it as well. All right, round two is going to be how thick, what can you put in here? All right, now I don't know the actual size specs of the machine. I cannot wait to get the brand new Omni One printer in my craft room just so I can give you all the really good stuff. Okay, they did not give me how big the machine is. However, what I do know is that the height maximum of the EufyMake UV printer is just a little over 2¼ inches in height. That is the tallest thing that you can put in your printer for it to print on. Okay. The Omni One, what xTool has told me, is you can go almost 6 inches thick. So you're going to be able to do thicker blanks. All right. So we're going to do like really thick frames, chunkier items. We got a bunch more clearance than the other one. Okay. That doesn't make the EufyMake UV printer a bad option, but like clearly here, we've doubled the height clearance so we can do bigger items. All right. A lot of people are going to ask about the cleaning and maintenance. Now, this is something that I think that would have to be something. Okay. Now, a lot of people ask me about the cleaning and maintenance over with the EufyMake UV printer. And to be honest with you, this one right here is going to be something that is going to be a hands-on true comparison. I can tell you what xTool has told me and what I know about the Eufy, but until I have the Omni One here in my craft room and I'm able to like get my hands on it and verify what this cleaning stuff does, I really can't tell you for sure how this all works with the Omni One. However, what I can tell you is with the EufyMake UV printer, it does have its own cleaning cycle and its whole thing. So there's very little hands-on maintenance that you have to do with the EufyMake UV printer, which is something that I've loved since day one, okay? Because I'm not someone that loves to do any type of maintenance on any machine, all right? So with the EufyMake UV printer, they have this jet cleaning cartridge, and it just cleans and does its own stirring and everything else. So there's an upkeep. When it does that though, you do burn ink and then cleaning cartridge fluid and stuff like that. There is an ongoing cost with the EufyMake UV printer. Now, what xTool is saying is that they have this Smart Cycle 2.0, which does an automatic white ink stirring. So you should, when you keep your machine on, you will hear it, and the Eufy does it too, where you'll hear it like kind of buzz. And what that's doing is it's stirring the white ink. The reason why we focus in on the white ink is because the white ink is the thing that clogs the easiest and the most, or can clog. All the other inks won't, but that's why there's always some sort of mechanism that stirs your white ink just to ensure that there is no clogs, okay? So it's always stirring, it's always circulating, and what they're saying is that there is a smart hydration system that keeps the nozzles from drying out. There is also a 2-week holiday mode. So you just like toggle like a holiday mode setting. And I guess when you come back to it, it's not going to be all clogged. I'm assuming what that would be is like a deep hibernation, but I'm not sure. Now, is this for sure, is there going to be any type of waste? Is there a cleaning cartridge that's involved? All this stuff, I'm not sure. Okay, so what we see on the screen is all I know. There's unfortunately nothing more I know. So does the Omni One have a cleaning cartridge like the EufyMake? I'm not sure, but I will make sure and report back when I have the machine in my craft room. All right, so let's talk about the pricing, okay, of the inks, because that is something that has been wildly talked about, okay? The EufyMake UV printer sells ink cartridges, and each ink cartridge is about $42-ish or something like that. I think it's like, I don't know. There is CMYK and gloss. 5 ink cartridges, and each one's about 42 something ish dollars. Okay. What xTool is saying is that their ink cartridges, the launch price is going to be $13.99. A huge difference between the two. What the difference is in bottle size, milliliters, and stuff like that, I don't know, because I've not seen what they're giving us. Are they giving us inks and they just refill in the tanks? I don't know. That would be great. So all of that we'll see when we get the actual machine to play around with. But I mean, I really like these prices. $43-ish compared to $13.99. I like that. I like that price, right? All right, so the next thing is about the cameras and the head alignments and all that stuff. All right, how do you get your design exactly where you want it to go? All right, with my EufyMake UV printer, there is 2 lasers that do a snapshot. It's honestly good, pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. I don't have very many issues with it. I do think that we could refine a little bit, but you know, that's just me just being nitpicky, okay? With the Omni One, they have what's called a pixel scan. It's a laser plus a contact image sensor that scans the whole bed for a near 1-to-1 preview of your object. If that's as accurate as they say, placement is going to be foolproof. Now, is that actually true? You know me. I'm going to test that when I get the machine, okay? There is some limitations when it comes to the EufyMake UV printer, and the thicker you make the material or you want to print on, so let's say a golf ball, I've printed on golf balls. When you put a golf ball in there, your image ends up getting all skewed. That would be the limitation. Does that happen also with the Omni One? I'm not sure. We are going to test that. Also, one thing that I have heard, which is super fun and not anything that I have seen firsthand, because obviously I don't have the machine, but what I've heard is you know how the xTool family has a bunch of lasers? I have all the xTool lasers, right? What I've heard is that they will be able to seamlessly go from print to cut with like some sort of like QR code or something like that, that your laser will be able to scan to cut your UV prints without any issues. And you're only going to be sitting in one software as opposed to going back and forth to multiple different softwares. Did I just lose you there? Hopefully not. If you've watched any of my other EufyMake UV printer videos and you see me cut like let's say wood or acrylic on my xTool lasers and then have to use my EufyMake UV printer to print, you know that I'm bumping around in like 3 different softwares, one to design, one to cut, and one to print, right? So now theoretically, what we're going to be able to do is just use one software. We're going to be able to design, cut, and print all within the studio. So we shall see. I'm excited to test all of this out. All right, so let's talk about the accessories. What do they have to offer? Okay, what I have seen here is that both the machines do have the same type of accessories. They have the flatbed. They have how big we can print on the flatbed. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't get those specifics, but they do have a flatbed. They do have a rotary. They will have a roll to attachment feature. The EufyMake UV printer also has a roll to attachment feature, and you can print up to 10 meters with that one. Now with the uh, xTool Omni One roll feeder, apparently it also has a laminator with it. We'll see. Okay, the Eufy, it's only the roll to film attachment. There's the laminator, you would have to do it separately. Apparently there's a laminator that goes with the roll to film. I don't even know. It's going to, again, a lot of this is going to be super important information when I actually get the machine here in my craft room to craft with, because then you'll be able to like really get down and dirty, nitty gritty about like, does it do this? Or is this more complicated? Does it need to be, you know what I mean? Okay. But what xTool is saying is the Omni One's roll feeder and laminator go up to 15 meters, and you can print, like you can see that picture over there on the right. It's like printing and going through the laminator all at the same time. The Eufy won't do that. And then also the canvases, like the large canvases, instead of printing 10 meters, you can print 15 meters. So it also does foiling, just like the EufyMake UV printer. However, with the Eufy, you have to print with flexible white ink in order to do the foil. So do you have to do that with the xTool? I'm not sure, but we shall find out. That would be cool if you didn't have to interchange the ink cartridges, because that is a big complaint that a lot of people have with the Eufy, is that because there isn't a dedicated flexible white ink slot, whenever you change between the original white ink and the flexible, there is some waste. And personally, to me, I hate wasting on ink. I don't know about you, but like when we talk about an ink cartridge being $43, the last thing I want to do is waste anything, you know? So we'll see. We'll see. I'm so excited to play around with this. All right, so let's talk about money, because money is the thing that stops people in their tracks. Okay. Both the xTool Omni One and the EufyMake UV printer kind of sell them in a similar fashion. And what I mean by that is they sell them in bundles. So you can get like the small, medium, and large bundle. So just think of it like that. Okay. So for the Omni One, it comes in like 3 bundles or editions, if you will. Okay. The first bundle is going to be starting out at $1,700. And this is going to be pretty close. I would say if we were talking about what would be the direct comparison to what you see with the EufyMake UV printer, you would be at the very base. So if I were to buy just the EufyMake UV printer and you wanted a direct comparison of price, the single UV would be the direct comparison to the Eufy. So the Omni One single UV is going to start out at $1,700, and you can do practically everything that I've shown you that I've done with the Eufy. Okay. Then they do also have a dual UV print head. What that is, it's obviously $1,000 more. It's $2,700. But then at that point, it's going to be faster, which time is money. So if you don't want to sit around and wait for something to be printed, because it does take a while to print with the EufyMake UV printer. You can upgrade to a dual UV. It'll be faster. You'll have fluorescent inks, so you'll have access to fluorescent inks, and then also flexible white. So that's cool. Fluorescent ink, the EufyMake UV printer does not have any fluorescence at all. So we can't print in fluorescent at all. We do have flexible white ink, but you would have to only put it in and out of the white ink cartridge. So with the dual, apparently you're going to get more slots for more ink. So that's really cool. Then the last and final edition or bundle would be the UV plus the DTF. And that right there is going to be $2,800. And that is where you're going to be able to do the direct to garment DTF apparel printing. And that is something that the Eufy will never be able to do. Okay. So at the end of the day, the base bundle with the EufyMake UV printer, the base bundle is $2,300. So the entry Omni One single UV is already cheaper than the EufyMake UV printer. I like that. I mean, that's amazing. All right, so how does the ordering work? Okay, right now it's in the pre-order. So you pay the $50 right now, and then what that does, you pay the $50. What that does is it locks you into a bonus bundle. The bonus bundle is like $450 worth of things that will come with your printer. And then you have to make a final payment July 15th at launch. Okay. So going back over here is going to be the pricing that you're probably going to end up paying. All right. If it were me, I'd go this one right here at the very bottom, that UV DTF fabric. That sounds good to me. And that price right there is already like, I mean, we're just a little bit over the base bundle of the Eufy, and you're getting so much more. It's absolutely amazing. Now, before I let you go, what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about my opinion on whether or not you should invest in the Omni One or the EufyMake UV printer. Okay. I would like to put like a little disclaimer here that Ashlee Falco, me, I know people cannot stand when I talk in third person, but me, okay, I never put my stamp of approval on anything that I have not tested out. I can read, surprise, I can read and I can compare what I'm reading to the EufyMake UV printer. But no, I will not be giving my 100% stamp of approval on the Omni One just yet, because I would love to play with it and test it out and put it through the ringer, just like I have with the EufyMake UV printer, to make sure that it will work, because we all work hard for our money. That is the truth. All right. So I want to make sure that our money is best well spent. However, on paper, remember, I can read, xTool has gone the lengths to ensure that they have covered all the frustrations of UV printer people, or people that are wanting to get into UV printing. Okay, they have figured out how to ensure that we don't have any clogs. They have figured out how to offer inks at lowest prices I've ever seen. And they've also figured out how to create an all-in-one printer that can not only print everything that you've seen me print with a Eufy, but also the shirts and the garments, which you've never seen me print because you can't. Okay, so with that being said, they've also figured out how to underprice Eufy. And the crazy thing about this is that for the last year and a half, Eufy was the lowest UV price printer on the market. And xTool now has even undercut that. How? I don't know. Okay, so for me, on paper, it does look like that I will probably like the xTool Omni One more than the Eufy. Now, will I, after I get the machine here in my craft room? That's going to still be up for debate. So you're definitely going to have to watch closely at my channel to make sure, just to see what happens in the coming months. And I do want you to come back to my channel. So if you're new here, I test the machines. I put things through the ringer. We are going to be doing the exact same designs, the same tests, the same everything that we did with the Eufy. I'm going to be doing it with the Omni One. And I am going to talk real about, does it clog? Is it faster? Is it not? Is it all that it's cracked up to be? We're going to talk about everything. So what I want you to do is make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I want you to make sure that you have hit the bell for all the notifications, because every single time I post a video about these two machines as a dual, I want you to watch them so you know how to best spend your money on whether or not one is better than the others. All right, y'all, make sure to comment on this video and let me know, as we stand, are you team Eufy or are you team xTool, or are you going to wait and see what more videos I have in store for you? I hope I inspired you to create, y'all, and I'll see you later.